I'd usually have music, but not this time. Anyways, what's up, everybody? It's me. It's M.O.C. It's Monka Crunk here. Alright, yeah, I just recorded one video, or cast, or whatever, PodTube, or whatever the heck we're gonna call this craziness. And yeah, topic came to mind as I was closing off, as you guys will hear once you guys get to it. And it's about PC gaming and controller support. Now, I'm a huge gamer, have been for Jesus, many years. I think I took like a 3-year hiatus at most. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I got really back into gaming about 1.5 years ago. Bought myself a PS4. Well, I had a PS3, PS2, and all that. But I mean, bought myself a PS4. Worked hard. Like, I'm not rich. Work my ass off for everything I own. Pay a lot of money to live. But that's life, right? So I worked my butt off. Got myself a PS4. Started talking to some people about Twitch, because I started doing more multiplayer games. I'm very much a single player person, but yeah, I started to let's go to my gameplay. I decided. So I started talking to some people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I stream on Twitch." I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck is Twitch?" You know, I didn't know what it was. So I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll check it out." And I see what they're doing. They're talking. They're doing their thing. They're playing their games. I'm like, "Cool." I was strictly. I had a laptop, which I still use today. I have, and that's it. That's all I had, a laptop and a PS4. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you need a capture card." They gave me a list of stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that stuff is. So I just kept watching them. I have been fans of guys from formerly of IGN, Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, and around the same time, I guess it is 2 years ago now, they broke off from IGN and started their own thing, and I started getting more involved in listening to them. Then they mentioned Twitch as well, and I'm like, huh, okay, so they're doing some stuff on Twitch as well. Started watching them on Twitch, talked to some people within the chat, ended up getting close to a bunch of them. Very good community, guys. If you guys ever are on Twitch, check out Kinda Funny, even youtube.com/Kinda Funny. And Kinda Funny Games. Those 2 guys are awesome. Or those 4 guys are awesome. Colin Moriarty just got his own thing now. He's doing Colin's Last Stand. Guys, check that out as well. If you like politics and history, it's a great thing to listen to. So anyways, that was my little side note. Got really close with a couple of the people. One of them has been streaming for a little while. The other one knows. He's a genius, I call him. Yeah, he knows a lot about a lot of things. And yeah, so technical things I needed, I was discussing with these guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is all you have to do. This is what you need." And then one guy was like, "Hey, I'll help you set it up. You know, I'll go with you. We'll talk. You know, we'll look on Amazon and talk about it, and I'll tell you what you need, what's around a good price for it, and yada, yada, yada." So slowly but surely, that year I bought everything, including a PC. Bought the pieces and put it together myself. Like 6 months later. Built the PC, put it together. Went, all right. Now I can start streaming PC games. PS4 was doing very well for me. I had a good group of people. Started getting a little following. You know, in less than a year, I had almost 300 people, and that's with only streaming 3 times a day. Or 3 times a day, 3 times a week. Whew, 3 times a day, that'd be crazy. That's what I'm doing now. So yeah, that was the whole plan behind it. And I'm like, okay, good. Now I can branch out and do some PC stuff. And then I bought myself an Xbox One. I'm like, oh, I can throw that in there. Actually, I got that cheap, so I'm selling it for cheap too. Got to make money, buy other stuff. So yeah, I'm doing that, doing good. And then I meet more people through the streaming. And, you know, we start talking on and off stream, at each other on Steam. They recommend games. I try playing games. Their mouse and keyboard. I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? Now, to explain why I'm wondering, Jesus Christ, I am a disabled gamer, physically disabled, not mental, well, mentally too, if you want to count some things, No, I'm a physically disabled gamer. I can't even pronounce what I have. I'll try though. Eosinophilic fasciitis. Don't ask me how to spell that. I have no clue. I think it starts with an E. But it's basically, best way I can describe it to anybody is if you know arthritis and that's part of it in a sense. Rheumatoid arthritis, if you know what that is, basically it can cripple you, and like over time, as an actor, James Coburn, I believe his name was. He had it. If you look, he was in a Maverick and other movies throughout his years. As he got older, he didn't show his hands as much on camera because his hands became crooked and crippled. Mine are like that now. I had to have surgery on my right hand just so I could open it. My left hand, again, doesn't open so well. And I didn't get surgery on that hand because I have a job and I can, manage, because I learned how to adapt pretty quickly. All this started at 19. So I've learned to kind of, do things. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to game. I'm going to try PC stuff. I'll try the mouse and keyboard stuff. And within 5 minutes of playing, my left hand is like done. I can't reach the W. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? So I'm like angling my body. So with the condition that I have, all my tendons throughout my body shrank. When I'm very active, as in like when I'm lifting weights, or which is something my doctor never thought I would do. I'll get into that later. When I'm too active, like even playing video games too often, and I mean too often as in like, holy crap. There was a time period, my ex-girlfriend died, and I played 600 hours of Skyrim, and I don't even remember probably 500 hours of that game when I played it. That was when it first came out. Keep that in mind too. Once I kind of clicked back into reality, my forearms were killing. My hands were so sore I couldn't even hold the controller. That's how bad it was. That's why I say closest thing I can say is arthritis, or rheumatoid arthritis. Also, it affects a tissue that's in between your fat and your muscle called the fascia. It's a hardening of that. Now, at my severity, to go back on what I was saying, when I was 19, so the severity that I went through was I couldn't walk for, I want to say it was like 5 months. I think my parents think it's longer. I don't remember fully because I was on painkillers just to get through my days. And I never got addicted. I took a month's worth of T3s in one night just to get through the night. My doctor thought I should have overdosed, but I was fine. I'm a weird person like that. I did a lot of things just to get through my days. And that's when I started, I went from I was an athlete. I was a baseball player, played hockey. Hi, I'm Canadian. I did a lot of things, and I was always a big kid, so sports was down my alley. And 19, done. My whole life got flipped over, so I became very much an introvert, and I do a lot more stuff from home. So gaming became that passion for me to fill in the time. Also, I work the night shift. I work midnight, or 8 p.m. till 4, 5, anywhere between 3 and 5 in the morning. So it's very, very difficult to find anybody to talk to, except if they're in another country. And Twitch, gaming in general, let me reach out to people from all over. I made met crazy amounts of people, not met in person, but over different games became somewhat friends with a lot of these people. You know, I still talk to some of them after PS2 era of stuff. On occasion, we'll still message each other, right? And those guys are like in California, so West Coast, I'm East Coast. And then I got guys now I talk to in the UK, which is a 5 hour, I believe they're 5 hours ahead. So like right now it's like 3 a.m., 3:30 in the morning, so it's like 8 a.m. for them. Oh, that means my buddy's awake. So him and I will talk in the morning. Like I'll get home from work and he'll be on gaming. I'll jump on, start chatting with him. You don't have that in real life. There's nobody awake at 3:30 in the morning around me except people I don't associate with and crazy people like myself. So yeah, that's how I got into gaming. As crazy as I am now. So yeah, back to the whole purpose of this. So this is, I'm physically disabled. Now, that's just a quick summary. If you guys want the in-depth thing, just let me know and I will give you a whole story on what it is and what I went through and the heartbreak. I'm the guy that smiles all the time. If you ever see my streams and my camera's on, man, I'm just smiling or I'm like looking intensely at the game, like with my jaw dropped because I enjoy it so much. Did my video just stop? Nope, it went again. Okay. So yeah, I was on, what game was it that I really wanted to play? My friends were playing, and these are real life friends as well as some of the other guys I game with. They were playing, God, what was it called? H1Z1 being one of them. That's the new one that's out, Battlegrounds. I know he's going to have controller support because he's trying to bring it to consoles when it's ready. So in time he will. Oh man, there was a bunch of them that were all out. CSGO, stuff like that. Now I understand mouse and keyboard, you have more accuracy. You have the advantage using the mouse and keyboard in a lot of ways. And I can live with that. I can live with being the worst player on the thing. I'm cool with that. But not feeling able to play the game due to the fact that there is no controller support is the part that kind of sucks. Now, I'm not asking all developers, hey, we're disabled, you have to. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's the community more that I want to reach out to on this. So I put in one of the forums, hey, will this game ever have controller support? I must have had 50 plus messages attacking me. Not saying no, mouse and keyboard only, you would lose. Normal, kind of, I understand those answers. It was, don't play PC if you don't use mouse and keyboard. It was, you're an idiot. Only idiots use controllers. Only whatever. Now, my feelings aren't hurt by this. It's just, I can't believe they'd attack that easily off an easy, a simple question as, can I get controller support for this? They don't know my situation. They don't know. They just think I think it's easier. No, I literally can't play this game without it. So, me, I've missed out on many, many good games, games I watch my friends play because I can't play them physically. And that's cool, and I have no problem with that, right? It's just, I feel bad for the developer if he's like an indie guy. But if it's a really good game, clearly he doesn't need just my sale. But there is an organization I contacted last year, I believe, because when I have some time, I'd love to do a charity stream for them. They're called Able Gamers. So you guys should check it out, ablegamers.com. A-B-L-E, I'm trying to remember the thing. I think it's ABLEGAMERS.com. Just going to make sure that's a website, because I could be wrong. Oh, shit. Now my laptop's acting up. No, I was right. Okay, so yeah. So it's ABLEGAMERS.org. Sorry, it's .org. Go there, check it out, read. These are people that are much more severe than I am. These are, children. I'm not a child, so these are children that have a lot of physical disabilities. You know, I'm a grown adult. I don't react the same way to some of these kids, but I know, like, I was young in a way. I was 19 when all this started. But like I said, I went from an athlete that was very good at sports. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but from the age of 14 to 18, before all this started, I was able to throw at 88 miles an hour, easy, like average. You know, I could hit 400 over 400 yards, 400 feet, I should say. Like I was a 200-pound 15, 16-year-old, you know. I learned how to use that weight and power. So I was a big boy. 6 foot, 200 pounds. 250 was my max, or 280 was my max weight. It's a different story altogether. I like food. So check out ablegamers.org. It's a great charity. I respect these guys a lot for what they're doing, because I can only imagine myself being a child going through anything similar to what I do every day. And, you know, they go through stuff every day. And, yeah, like, the PC community is really, really bad about helping out people that aren't like them. Instead of, oh, you know what, controller support would be a good idea, or saying it would be an unfair advantage if it came to console, it'd make more sense. No, it's, you're not a real gamer because you use a controller. Now, you say that to a child. You tear a child up. Not a good idea. You know, like, I made people cry for yelling at kids on video games, because they're children, they're playing, they're trying to have fun, and all you have is teenagers and even people my own age that I know would never say half of what they did to my face. And it's great, you're on the internet, you're behind a keyboard, you're hiding, you're typing, you're saying what you're saying, and I get all that. It makes you feel powerful, yada yada yada. It's more of an awareness for people. You know, there's a lot of people like myself, like I grew up in the 80s and 90s where consoles ruled. PCs were nothing. PCs have now taken over, not even fully, but they are the more prominent, would be the right word. We'll go with that. Way of gaming, where you can get better graphics, where you get better games and stuff like that. But consoles are still not that much farther behind. They're starting to catch up again. But PC gamers don't see that. You know, they're fanboys, more or less. You know, they don't, like myself, I love my PC. I love my PS4. I don't really love my Xbox, but that's a completely different topic. It's just too big. Which like I said, I'm selling that thing too. But Xbox is it doesn't have any games that I can't get on the other things. That's pretty much it nowadays. But yeah, it's the way that community treats people, without saying, oh, why do you need a controller? Is it that you aren't good with a mouse and keyboard? Because that, you know, why don't you keep trying and practice? Hey, I have some time, I will take you under my wing and show you how, or play with you and help you get better. Instead of that encouragement, which is what I got from PlayStation, which was what I got through these guys I game with now. You know, that's not there. No, it's automatic attack. You're not a real gamer. You're not this, you're not that. Look at some of these kids in these pictures. Now, I couldn't imagine any of those guys saying it to one of those kids to their face. You know, and that's what bothers me. Like, being a disabled gamer myself and having these limitations, it sucks. It blows. But wow, like, I couldn't imagine, you know, being a child and being like, I was bullied because I'm a pacifist. I don't like violence. I was always a bigger kid compared to the people around me, at least. But I don't like getting violent, and I was an athlete. I don't really like competition, and it's not like I don't thrive on competition, we'll put it that way. Competition breeds excellence. For me, competition's fun until somebody takes it too seriously. We're not getting paid to game right now. Even if I'm doing it over Twitch and then say one day Twitch is paying me or people are paying to watch me, that is me giving them entertainment, and that's what I'll give them. I'm not being paid to win. I'm not playing esports, and neither are these kids. These kids are just playing for fun. So if you're in a room with them, or they're in the chat room asking a simple question as, is there controller support? Don't jump on them. Because honestly, there's reasons people ask. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they need to get good. It's literally some of them have no choice. And I was going to write a book about what I've gone through from ages of 19 to what I am now in my 30s. And I speak better than I write. And it bothers me to, even still to this day, I wish I wrote down the game, and I meant to write down what game the comment was on Steam. But man, the one person asked for controller support and everybody attacked them, and unbelievable. Gamers, we're nerds. I don't care who you are, you're a nerd. I'm a nerd, you're a nerd. You're a gamer, you're a nerd. You may play sports too. You may be like Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed, who's a nerd, but he's a wrestler. He's in a WWE. He's a big motherfucker. He's a big dude. But he's a nerd. Fully would admit it. Nerd culture. That's what's taken over right now. But we're all in the same. No one's better than the other. I don't care if you're better at a video game. If you're better, teach somebody to be as good or close to. That's what will make you better. People take this video game stuff way too seriously, and there's kids like these ones that can't physically do what you guys can, but you guys take full advantage of that. Oh, look, I got 57 kills, I died once. Great. They had fun dying 57 times because they got to play. None of you think about that because that's not your world. But hopefully you guys will think about that. I love PC gaming. I love console gaming. I don't care. I like the graphics that I can do with PCs. I'm getting a 4K TV, like I said in my last video. I'm getting a 4K TV, getting a new graphics card, getting rid of my 980 Ti, gonna put in a 1080 Ti and do my thing, and it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm physically disabled. I have to work. Right now I'm on my 7th day. I just finished my 7th night, I should say. I'm gonna be on 8 by tomorrow, whenever I wake up. Still today. It's the AM right now, 3:48. So I'm still in the AM, and yeah, I got stuff, man. I have everything I bought. My parents don't pay for anything. I actually, right now, since an ex and I broke up years ago, I'm paying my own way. I'm paying mortgage here. I have to live in the basement because they have no money. But I make enough to cover what they can't, plus my own. And I still have to work 6-7 days a week. I'm not giving anything. And I know some of you guys work hard and do your thing too, so I'm not, saying everybody's a spoiled brat. But I would like to enjoy, my computer more by being able to play every game that's offered. Like this game that's on the screen right now, it's a PC port. I don't even know if it's really a port. It feels like it was actually built for the PC. But again, I don't know the terminology correctly, so I could be wrong. To me, a port is something that was on a system or a different, we'll say a PlayStation originally, and then was ported over, so it had to be modified, where I feel like this was built for the PC, not modified for the PC. But anyways, different story. But yeah, like, I like nice graphics, I like nice things, but I'm disabled. I can't play them all. I can't do everything. I can't play sports. I can't do any of that anymore. But I push myself and make myself, to make myself better. I help other people that aren't as good or as well as me, I guess I would say. Not like financially, but like, I'm a happy person. I'm smiling. Even as I'm saying, even the bad stuff, I was smiling through the whole thing. Why? Because that's my life. My doctor, my specialist, when he was doing tests on me, I couldn't bend my leg, right? Like, I couldn't walk, and I had to force myself to get out of bed, which just to sit up took me 15 minutes, and to get to to the car took me an hour. Like, I have two flights of stairs, not even a full 1.5 flights of stairs to get from where I was sleeping to the car, and that took me an hour and 15 minutes. That's crazy. But even then, like, he came, he saw me, he tested me, I was smiling. That's the person I am. So I like to help people, and I want to see that more in video games. There are going to be people worse than you. There are going to be people better than you. No matter how good you are, somebody will knock you down. But instead of attacking people, keep in mind there's reasons that people may need help. Maybe they're not as smart as you. They're not understanding the game like you. Try explaining it to them. There's the guy that helped me get all my streaming stuff together. He, like I said, he is beyond smart. I swear to God, this man's a genius. And it took me a second. And I did say to him, like, dude, I'm not as smart as you, so, give me a second. Like, I may go, like, don't get too frustrated with me type deal. Like, I'm not a stupid person, but compared to this guy, I'm brain dead. But I've slowly learned what he means by what he says. So now it's like talking to anybody else with me and him. But that's what, like, the variety of people I've met and talked to, we're all different, but we're all nerds. And, some of these professional, quote unquote, gamers and YouTubers, I've heard them talk crap about other gamers, and it's why. That's all I have to ask is why. What benefit do you get? More views because of drama? Congratulations. You're a reality star. I'm not going to swear. You're a Kardashian. All right? Like, be a human, man. Treat everybody. You're a nerd. We're all nerds. Like I said 100 times now. We're all in the same boat together. We're all in this lovely nerd palace. Let's live it, Yeah, so that's my frustrating thing. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, though. Like, I don't get it, man. This is more of a talk radio right now. But, yeah, this is more just me going on about, I can't believe how people treat each other. I don't care about comments. I don't care about that kind of thing. But I mean, man, when did, I remember when nerds were sticking with nerds. You watch all those 80s and 90s, you're a nerd, you're hang out with the nerds. Guess what, man? We're all nerds. I don't care if you're a jock. I don't care what you do outside. You're a nerd. You're a gamer. You're a PC guy. You're a nerd. Take it, love it, live it, smile about it, man. Don't sit back and, pick on somebody else. They're you. You know what? You sense a weakness? Come after me. I'll start laughing at you. Like I do when people argue with me. It's just no point. But, yeah, like, going back on some of the things I said, like, I would love to see people treat each other better. I would love to see, I'd love to hear it, man. Instead of, oh, you need a controller, you're not a real gamer. Buddy, controllers. Console gaming was bigger than PC gaming for a long time. Long time. It wasn't mouse and keyboard with console gaming. Ataris, no, not really mouse and keyboard. Kinda, not really. Like joysticks and stuff, but like, yeah. People forget where it started, you know. Everything started from a computer. First video game was on a computer. But PCs were almost phased out for a while, man. Like, very few people compared to consoles were gamers. Consoles were easier, cheaper. PCs and now consoles are pretty much the same price. But consoles are just easier, man. Like, it's not... I had to learn how to build my computer. I had my buddy come over and show me step by step. Like, this is where this goes. Oh, see that notch? That's where that wire goes into. Oh, that's what this means. I don't know terminologies like that. He taught me. So now I know how to build my own computer. Could I do it again? I'd have to sit there and look at it for about an hour. No. I'd have to look at it and be like, okay, I know where that is, and that is. Where does the fan plug into again? Probably one that says fan. But where's the USB port go? But yeah, like, these guys, you know, my friends, if you saw them, we all look different, man. Some of us are little chubby dudes. Some of us look like me, who I don't know what I look like to some people. I've been called many things. And some, you know, my buddy that helped me build this is a big dude. I love the guy to death. Amazing guy. You know, and then I got some, like, jock friends that are gamers too. I got, you know, one of my buddies, like, one of my best friends, you know, she's, I don't know how to put her. She's awesome. She's, you know, she's a big gamer. She got into gaming again recently. Same with another friend, Raj. That dude's getting into, he just bought a PlayStation 4 so he can game with us. We're going to be doing, sorry, I just lit a cigarette. We're going to be doing some Skyforge stuff, and I'm actually I have a second TV, because like I said, I'm buying a new one. So I'm going to have 2 TVs and 2 PlayStation 4s down here. So guess what? We're going to be, once I figure out how, going to be doing dual streams, or 2 streams on my one channel. Technically 2, Twitch and YouTube. Which I have an idea for that too. But yeah, like, sorry, that just came to mind. But back to, you know, like, you really, sorry, I keep going on tangents, man. I keep going on and off topic. Oh, well, that's what happens when you do rough stuff. It's my brain. This is how my brain works. Kind of fucked up. But yeah, like, I never understood it. Like I said, I was a jock, but I was bullied because I was a pacifist, because I'd rather not get violent. I don't need to prove my manhood. You know, I was never that person. And then I became disabled, and I don't need to prove anything. You know, that humbled me more than I already was. The name Monk is from that, not from me being sick, but me always kind of being humble. I'm always a guy smiling no matter what. You know, deaths in my family, I take it in stride. I think about it. I mourn, but I smile, because there's times to be upset. This is what I want to think. I'm teaching my niece right now. I don't have kids of my own, so teaching my niece. There's times to be upset about things. There's times that you need to cry. Cry. Be upset. But you don't need to act negatively towards people, even though you're upset. Now, these people that are jumping all over myself and other people I see that say, can we have controller support? You guys have a bad life. Like, I'm sorry. Like, whatever's going on in your life, I'm sorry for it, man. Like, that you need to take out your frustrations on somebody asking if they can use a controller. You know, easily understood that, hey, a mouse and keyboard, you're more accurate. It wouldn't be fair if they had in-controller support. Gotcha. And if it's a big game, why not have a server for controllers only and a server for, you know, mouse and keyboard? Yes, we're going to be segregated, but at least you'll have an even playing field. Or if you don't care, have that option. If you can do it, I know it's hard to do with some developing tools. I know, like, all that stuff. So I know some of them it makes it a lot more difficult. But if you're doing it on, I think it's Unity, or what's that one that I'm brain farting? I want to say like Crytek. I'm brain farting on it right now. What's the one that Epic owns? Whatever that one is. Can't remember right now. But hell, even Blender, which is a 3D program I'm starting to learn. It's going to take a while. It's a very difficult program for me. They have a thing that says add control, or work on controller, or something along the lines of that. So guess what? I could actually make a game and have it have controller support. So there are ways, but I know it's going to be difficult for some to have both. I get it. But I hope you think about it, you know, as a developer. I hope, you know, people, like I said, man, this is all just bottom line is, I hope you guys are aware that there are people like myself, like these kids at Able Gamers, you know, that physically can't use a mouse and keyboard. These guys at Able Gamers are amazing. Like, they create options, and I want more game developers to reach out to these guys, you know, and say, how can we help, or here's some ideas that maybe this could work. You know, I don't know if they're how they do it, but yeah, they do pretty good. But yeah, they sell, like, they create like touch pads and stuff for people, like for kids that want to play games but can't. Like, that touches me. Like, that's why I want to do a charity stream for them when I can get some time off work to do it. It's again, bills are mofo, as we all know. Yeah. And their hashtag is so everyone can game. Like, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Controllers, you know, that's just a step. And then supporting people like these guys who help create stuff, you know, so people can have controllers and different ways of using controllers. Like, there was a video on Twitter of a guy, I don't know if you've seen people in wheelchairs that are quadriplegic and they use that little straw thing. I can't remember what it's actually called. I call it the straw, to move their wheelchair forward and backwards and stuff like that. The guy had it on a Xbox One controller, or a PC controller, if you will, depending on what you're playing on. So they had it on the guy's shoulder, the controller, and he was moving it that way. I don't know. At least he could move. You know, that's step one. Step two would figure out, okay, how do we work the buttons? How do we do this? How do we do that? How would we mount this nicely so it's comfortable? You know, a lot of that's R&D and stuff like that, just to get it all started. But it's a great thing. And that's why I don't believe in attacking people no matter how bad they are at video games. There's always reasons. You know, and it sucks that, you know, the PC community, there's some great people in it, but so many of them are ugly. Playing CSGO, ooh, the amount of negativity, racism, and stuff that flew through that one game I played. Actually, I played, like, I don't know, a few hours, but my hands hurt like hell. That's for sure. I had to get, I know there's third-party stuff, and I use a lot of the third-party stuff, but you can't. There's games that there's too many buttons, you know, that you can't map it all into one controller, which is why it may be hard for guys to make it. But it's also, you can't adjust certain things, or you can't. I'm trying to think of the right wording. When you're self-mapping it, it takes time, and when people have done it already, cool. But even then, everybody has a different style, right? And I can't do so the claw. If you guys have heard of that position by holding a controller, I can't do that. Physically, I cannot make the claw, and so like I can't map a controller like that, and people can play that way. I'm look at it going, damn, you look like my hands do permanently, but I don't have the dexterity to use my fingers like that. And so it makes me laugh to see people play like that too. Like using the L1, R1, or left bumper, right bumper, and triggers. Doing that stuff is even as difficult for me in video games. Like I have to use all four. It's like the way I have to hold the controller. I have to almost have it on my leg while I play, so it's steady. And again, I'm an adult, man. Like it's frustrating, but it's like, I'll figure it out. But for a child, man, like when I was 19, when I first got really sick, like after I started getting better, I was, I think, a month away from my birthday. My 20th birthday, I started gaming, and I couldn't do things, man. Like things that came easy, playing pool, like touching my girlfriend's face, stuff like that. Luckily I broke up, like not luckily, but I didn't have a girlfriend when I got sick. But yeah, like I got a girlfriend I don't know, 6 months later, and doing stuff like that I couldn't do anymore, and it was like, fuck, this is frustrating. Like I couldn't open my right hand, or barely open my right hand, and can barely open my left hand still to this day. And yeah, like I'm a guy that needs a mouse, or can't use a mouse and keyboard. You saw me in the streets, man. I'm 6 foot, 215 pounds right now. Like a lot of the people that are saying this are little tiny people, and that are just acting big because they're on a video game, or they're like 14, 15-year-old kids that like to be loud and obnoxious. It's like, guys, what's the point? It's a video game. Have fun. Like I played Overwatch with a controller, and you know what? I was always top 3. I was a Reinhardt though, mind you, because I like Reinhardt. I like playing a tank in that. Always will finish top 3. But if you play mouse and keyboard, and you can play Tracer better than anything. Like I watch people play Tracer on PlayStation and Xbox, and it's not even close to what mouse and keyboard is. So I get the advantage, you know what I mean? But yeah, like having characters like that in a game where you're kind of stuck only playing certain ones, I'm cool. Like Torbjorn, and for Overwatch, Torbjorn and Reinhardt are easy to play with controller. Easy. Even Roadhog. Easy. I suck with Roadhog, but that's just me. But yeah, everybody else, like, yeah, it would be better. Even Soldier, you can play with mouse and with a controller, because it's much like any third-person shooter, or first-person shooter. Sorry, but yeah, mouse and keyboard, I can see the difference. Like I sit there with Widowmaker and even Soldier, and I aim with my mouse sometimes, and just using the keyboard or the controller to move my guy forward, back, left, and right, like to strafe. That's it. And doing that's a pain in the butt, let me tell you. That's a whole nother group of coordination right there. It's almost like using a Wii pad and that old nunchuck shit. But yeah, that's I don't know how long I've been talking for, but yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. I want to see better from gamers, man, especially guys on PC. I want to hear more positivity than I do the negativity, which I don't, which is sad. I play a lot of games, man, lots of games, but there are disabled people, and they want to play games too. And I get it. Oh, I've been going for 44 minutes. Okay, well, let's go for a little bit longer. There are so many different types, and people, I know, some of you that may hear this or may not hear this, you guys don't understand what it's like because you don't have what I do or what some of these kids that you see on ablegamers.org do. This isn't even paid by them, man. This is just me. I appreciate what they do. Because I wish they had something like this when I first got sick. You know, they probably were around, but I didn't know about them. So I'd like to spread their awareness. Yeah, like it's difficult being in a world that's, you know, built for quote unquote normal people and being physically disabled in any way, shape, or form. People with arthritis, just, you know, pain every day. It sucks. I get it. I go through it myself. You know, like I said, I'm in my 30s, man, and I'm probably stronger than a lot of people that I know, but I do live with pain 24/7. You know, there's an up and a down to my life. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 14. But if I didn't have what I do, I would probably be playing baseball in the majors type deal. Like, I would be that kind of person, like that much stronger than I am now. And yeah, like I was saying, like, I get it. Like, you people that are normal, quote unquote, you know, don't have physical disabilities, don't have even mental disabilities. We'll even go with that. You know, that grasps things like it's nothing, especially when it comes to electronics or games or whatever. Great, you guys have a natural talent. You're better than some people, but there's always going to be somebody better than you. So why not spread, in a way, your knowledge to somebody else? You know, show them the way. Show them, this is how, you know, try playing like this. Or this is how I do it. Try to modify it to your own. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to... What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, you don't need to be a dick. Pretty much it. You know, it's not a trade secret to be a gamer. You know, you can't teach... You know, like the guys that do the esports stuff, man, you can't teach that. That's not teaching. That's practice. That's learning their style, learning in the team events. It's learning their team style. And, you know, like I said, man, we're all nerds. I don't give a crap who you are, what you look like. You know, you find me gaming, I will game with you. You could be, what was the youngest kid? I used to game with, I was 25 at the time, and I was gaming with a kid that was like 11 years old. I called him my little brother because he was an awesome little kid. He was good at what he played. I was better than him, but I taught him some things. And then he became better than me. And I was fine with that. I don't care. You know, it's just, that's the way life is, man. But you're not going to be that person, that kid, that guy that's that good at games, because there's always going to be somebody better. You want me to put into sports analogy? Look at Jordan. Look at LeBron James. Playing today, completely different game as when I was a kid, NES era, Sega Master System era, to, you know, now the high-end PC gaming, high-end console gaming. I don't match up to the kids that have the time to play it all the time because I don't have that. You know, as you get older, your reflexes aren't as good. I don't know, mine are still pretty dope. So I'd hate to remember what it was like as a kid. But yeah, like, things change. You're not going to be that way the rest of your life. So, you know, I guess live it up as you can, but man, respect other people, because that person may get better than you, and then you're going to eat your own words, man. Instead of that, why not just teach them, show them, you know, explain to them how the game works, mechanics of the game. I still do that. Some games I understand mechanics better than others. You know, like the game here I'm playing, or like Muso JRPG. I love these things. And the mechanics of this is easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like this is some deep-ass game. But to explain it to somebody, it's just fun. It's a palate cleanser. It's, you know, it's just cheesy. It's Japan, as I always say. You know, like, why is it crazy? It's Japan. It has Japanese humor. It has the Japanese, well, not in this game, but different games similar to this have the folklore of Japan all rolled in, like Neo or Dynasty Warriors. Like, those are games I play, I enjoy, but it has both Chinese and Japanese mythos and lore behind it, so it's a lot of fun. I don't know why I was swinging at the screen there, but I was. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand it. So when people, yeah, again, I keep like jumping around the topic's going all over the place. I'm sorry for that. Like, I don't write any shit down, man. It's all coming off the top of my head. So yeah, just be good, man. That's it. Just respect the fact that some people physically cannot play games. Like, that's it. It's be nice, be kind to them because they can't do it. And if they're like my age, I don't care. You can be cruel to me. I'll just laugh at you and be like, oh, somebody needs a hug. I'll say something stupid like that. But people, like these kids that may say the same things and get the same reactions, they're not going to take it like I do, man. And you guys need to think about that. And I'd love to see if you guys actually do. I know I'm just one person. Probably nobody's going to see this, or maybe one or two people may view it, but yeah, I hope that bottom line is there. I hope you guys get to hear it. I know I'm all over the place, but at least somebody get a good clip out of this. And yeah, again, guys, check out ablegamers.org. Amazing charity, great ideas for disabled children, like disabled gamers. I'm not even gonna just say children, because I'm sure if I contact them, say, hey, yo, I'm a disabled gamer, I need some help with this and this and this, I'm sure that they'd hook up with me. But I'm stubborn. No, I like to learn, and if I can help by what I've learned, I would love to give them information. Like somebody that has something similar to me, how I came over it, or talking to kids that did stuff like that. Sure, why not? Although of course anything I can do to help anybody goes through what I have. I don't wish what I have on my worst enemy too, so that's another thing. But yeah, one day I will, if you guys want to hear about that story, let me know. Like, yeah, what I have, what I went through, that whole thing, from 19 to pretty much 20. It's almost a year of yeah. Yeah, it was 10 months of pretty much crap, but still smiling because I'm weird. But yeah, so everybody, thanks again. If you guys are listening, I've got to figure out a title to this, so I'm just gonna put, my thoughts on control support in disabled gaming. I don't know, or why I ask for controller support. My thoughts. I don't know. We'll figure out something. We'll see what I put. It's gonna be magic. You guys are gonna read the title and be like, "Oh, so he was confused. That's why it came out like that." All right. I hope somebody listens, if anybody. But if not, that's okay. I got it off my chest, and I'll probably do it again later. So everybody, thank you again. Have a good one. M.O.C. And yeah, doing a live stream soon, by the way. Probably tomorrow if I wake up in time. So see you then.